On Proof of Light, although it's difficult to choose one, my favorite song is probably the last one on the album, the title track. On that tune, you create this droning chord, and you do it one note at a time, with each note sustaining indefinitely, and then just forming this chord, and then it carries on in the background while you play over top of it. Is this a synth effect? How do you do that? Can you demonstrate for us?
Sure. Yeah, no, it's not a synth effect. It's what it is. It's taking the guitar and feeding it into a reverb, a very long reverb. And then the reverb can sustain indefinitely, and I can play over the top. So once you have a sustainer, you can play over the top of it. And I think I first discovered that approach when I was looking for ways to sustain chords, which would be impossible to play on the guitar any other way. A lot of the chord voicings I like the sound of are chords that you could play on a piano, but you couldn't play on the guitar just because it's not physically possible to reach them. A lot of the really, for me, really nice sounding chords are notes which are played quite near each other. The notes are quite near each other, voiced quite near each other. And on the piano, of course, they're easy to play on the guitar, you know, a matter of trying to do something like that. And even then, you've only got 4 fingers and it's not enough for half the time. So, yeah, I think that's where that originally came from.
What other sounds and techniques, Mark, would you consider to be sort of a signature sound for you, an integral part of what I see as your revision for the electric guitar?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't really thought about it from that perspective, but it is an interesting question. I guess probably for me, the way I see it, I mean, other people can make their own mind up about this, but it's about maybe what I do with notes on the guitar rather than just the sounds that I choose. Because I have quite a lot of different sounds and quite a lot of different tonal palettes that I use. So I think what I think about when I'm playing with whatever sound I happen to be using at the time is more about maybe how I manipulate the notes. I like to think a lot about pitch, so I will, you know, I'll manipulate the pitch quite a bit, just even on a string. Things like that, which I guess you could say are something I do quite a bit of. And even just the way I maybe would sound a note would... there's many ways you can sound a note. I think I counted over 20 different ways of sounding a note on the guitar, and I'm sure there's lots more to be discovered out there. And I spent a lot of time working on things like that, and still do. And I guess it's all those different kinds of things that I guess I think about as shaping the notes that I play, and part of that, I think, for me comes from the fact that I'm listening more to singers and sax players and trumpet players than other guitar players, and trying to find ways to bring some of the amazing things that they can teach you as a guitar player, because the things that a great singer or a great sax player can do with the tone of their instrument are so amazing, and guitar players often can just plug in and think, oh, I'll just dial up another sound, or I'll use a kind of stock, you know, technique or whatever it is. And I just think, yeah, there's so much more that you could do. And then of course there is the actual tonal sound. Yeah, I guess for me it's all those different things. But that's just my personal perspective. I mean, I guess other people really need to decide what it is for them. And, you know, one of the things I find fascinating about music, and one of the things I love about it, is that every listener brings to it their own perspective. And oftentimes people will hear things that I don't even hear, or I don't hear it that way, and they hear it in some new way, some way that's really amazing for them. And, you know, I'll hear something else and somebody else will hear something else. And so what other people hear in my music and my playing is just as valid, I think, as anything I might think about it. I just know what I'm thinking about or feeling when I'm playing, and yeah, that's it.